Read all my latest comics at patreon.com/comics. The current tools I use to draw my comics are iPad Pro, the Procreate app, and I do my final lettering in Photoshop. Every drawing starts out with basically rough pencils. So at this stage, I'm just kind of trying to get the positions right. I'm not worried too much about the details. I'll do most of the detail in the inking stage. But for now, it's about getting the actual panel shape right, leaving room for some dialogue, text, and overall just kind of trying to create an interesting image to look at. I don't have a panel-to-panel script written on paper. I kind of have plot lines laid out, that I know where the story's going. I kind of know what the dialogue will be. And I kind of let the characters speak for themselves. I first basically tell the story with pictures. And not having that rigid script in front of me allows for some creativity and surprise. It's almost like playing with toys. You never know what dialogue might actually be coming out, or something might change as the process goes. So in this case, I knew that the rain, the purple rain that's going to be falling from the sky, is actually causing the dead to rise in our dimension. I didn't know exactly what the characters say, but sometimes I hear them speak in my mind as I'm sketching them, and I might jot that down inside the panel to kind of guide me with the final dialogue. And sometimes that can work in reverse too, because if you're stuck on a drawing and you start hearing the characters talking or what they might be saying, it can kind of inspire a better panel as well. When the roughs are done, I go straight to inks. In this case, I'm using a rougher nib. I'm not doing the art smooth and then like editing it to make it look old afterwards. I'm actually choosing the brush that's kind of like a classic nib for that old school look. For me, when I'm inking, my goal is clarity in the panel. I want to make sure that the main characters are crisp and clear. The backgrounds aren't as important in some cases, but you want to make sure that anybody that's talking in the panels are very smooth, and you don't want to keep things too busy. I mean, it depends on your style, I guess, but it's always tempting to want to noodle and add little ticks and details, but at some point you have to say like, hey, I got to move on. I got to get this panel done. Inking's also pretty meditative. You can sort of get some time to pause and think about the story as you're working on some of the lines. Again, sometimes the dialogue will change, or I'll make notes in the sidelines or on another piece of paper for like what might change. But for the most part, this is just kind of the really fun part, bringing it to life, bringing out the details of the panels, taking a rough sketch and actually making it into something. For this strip, I was basically trying a new coloring method. Shout out to TrueGritSupply.com for the cool Procreate filter for actually making old school looking halftone patterns. They actually have all of the classic templates from Silver Age, Golden Age comics. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. It's a little bit more time consuming to do it this way, but makes for a cool effect at the end. I think it's also important to say that like all these filters and cool technology can't really do the work for you. You kind of have to do it yourself, even with the digital tools that you have. And we're about done here. I'm adding the purple rain, of course, that brings the zombies back to life in our universe. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to invite you over to patreon.com/comics, where I'm putting all my new comics up for free. Check them out.